Boeing's story is the story of America. Ambition, ingenuity, and the relentless pursuit of the skies. From fragile biplanes to the mighty 747, Boeing built the modern world and connected continents. Its planes set the standard for safety, performance, and innovation. But somewhere along the way, the flight path changed. The American dream was now in jeopardy. In 2018, a brand new Boeing 737 MAX crashed, killing all 189 on board. 5 months later, another MAX disaster struck. Trust in Boeing shattered overnight. Airlines worldwide grounded their fleets. Investigations revealed a flawed software system, MCAS, kept secret from pilots. Profits and speed took priority over safety. Boeing's legacy now hung by a thread. The crisis wasn't just about a plane, it was about the soul of Boeing. For years, China was Boeing's golden goose, a booming market with insatiable demand for air travel. Chinese airlines ordered hundreds of planes, making China critical to Boeing's future. But the U.S. China trade war changed everything. Tariffs and political tensions turned Boeing from manufacturer to pawn in a global power struggle. Beijing used aircraft orders as leverage, slowing and then halting purchases. The message was clear. China could inflict real pain if the U.S. played hardball. Boeing was caught in the crossfire, uniquely vulnerable as America's top exporter to China. The 737 MAX crisis made things worse. China was first to ground the plane, signaling independence from U.S. regulators. While other countries recertified the MAX, China held back, making a political statement and boosting Airbus. The long-term consequences were profound. China accelerated efforts to build its own aviation industry and strengthen ties with Airbus. Boeing's privileged position in China was gone, replaced by uncertainty. What was once a reliable engine of growth became a source of risk. The company's future now depended on unpredictable international relations. Boeing's fate was no longer in its own hands. The trade war and MAX crisis forced China to rethink its reliance on Boeing. The rise of Chinese aviation was underway. For Boeing, the loss of China was a blow with global repercussions. The skies over Asia would never look the same. In 2001, Boeing stunned the world by moving its headquarters from Seattle to Chicago. Seattle had been Boeing's home for 85 years, a city built around its factories and engineers. But leadership wanted distance from unions and the factory floor. The move marked a cultural shift from engineering-driven to finance-focused. After merging with McDonnell Douglas, Boeing's new leaders prioritized cost-cutting and shareholder value. The goal shifted from building the best airplane to building the most profitable one. This new mindset had far-reaching consequences. The 787 Dreamliner program showcased the change. Boeing outsourced huge sections to global suppliers. The plan was to save money and speed up development, but it backfired. Parts didn't fit, supply chains broke, and delays cost billions. Opening a non-union factory in South Carolina deepened the rift with skilled workers in Washington. Critics warned that relentless cost-cutting would compromise quality and safety. Their fears proved tragically accurate. The company's soul was being sold off piece by piece. The focus on profits over people fractured Boeing's culture. The consequences would haunt the company for years. The gamble to relocate and restructure changed Boeing forever. The once proud engineering powerhouse was now led by accountants. The cost of that decision would soon become painfully clear. For decades, Boeing ruled the skies with little competition. Then came Airbus, a European upstart that slowly gained ground with innovation and persistence. By the 2000s, Boeing and Airbus were locked in a fierce global rivalry. Every order became a battle. Every new model a response to the other. When Airbus launched the A320, Boeing updated the aging 737 instead of designing a new plane, a decision that led to the MAX's tragic flaws. The duopoly pushed Boeing to take risks it once avoided. Now, a new challenger emerges, China's Comac, with its C919 jet. The C919 targets the same market as the 737 and A320, signaling China's ambition to become a producer, not just a customer. For now, the C919 is mostly for China's domestic market, but international competition is coming. The global aviation race is becoming a three-way contest. For Boeing, already struggling against Airbus, the rise of Comac is a nightmare scenario. The comfortable duopoly is ending. Boeing faces a future with more rivals and higher stakes. The era of easy dominance is over. The skies are more crowded and more challenging than ever. At Boeing's peak, safety was sacred. Engineers could halt production if something wasn't right. But after the McDonnell-Douglas merger and the move to Chicago, priorities shifted. Finance and speed replaced engineering and caution. Faster, cheaper, better became the mantra. Safety slipped down the list. The 737 MAX crisis exposed the rot whistleblowers ignored, safety concerns sidelined, and a cozy relationship with regulators. Boeing withheld crucial information about MCAS from the FAA, airlines, and pilots. The problems spread. Quality issues plagued other programs, from debris in fuel tanks to structural defects in the 787. In 2024, a door plug blew off a 737 MAX mid-air, nearly causing catastrophe. Each incident revealed systemic failure, a culture where mistakes became inevitable. Fixing Boeing's culture is now its greatest challenge. It requires more than a new CEO or a software patch. Engineers must be empowered again, and safety must come first, even at a cost. Trust must be rebuilt with workers, regulators, and the public. The process will be long and difficult. Boeing's future depends on whether it can truly change. The Boeing crisis isn't just about numbers, it's about people. 346 lives lost in the MAX crashes, families shattered by corporate failure. Their grief is a permanent stain on Boeing's legacy. The company's own workforce suffered too. Tens of thousands laid off, communities devastated. Skilled workers who built Boeing's reputation were left behind. The ripple effect hit suppliers, small businesses, and entire regions. Pilots and flight attendants, once proud to fly Boeing, now face anxious passengers and shaken confidence. Every flight is shadowed by doubt. The psychological burden on crews is immense. The flying public, once reassured by Boeing's name, now boards with unease. Air travel remains safe, but trust has been damaged. Rebuilding that trust is a monumental task. The true cost of Boeing's fall is measured in lost peace of mind. The company's failures have touched millions. The human toll is the hardest to repair. Boeing stands at a crossroads, its future uncertain, its legacy on the line. Can it return to greatness? Only if it transforms from within. This isn't just about fixing production lines, it's about rediscovering the values that made Boeing great. The company must overhaul its culture, putting engineering and safety above profits. Regaining trust from regulators, airlines, and the public will be a long uphill battle. Boeing lags behind Airbus, burdened by debt and years of lost innovation. Yet, it still has world-class engineers, deep expertise, and a vital role in defense. The barriers to entry in aerospace are high. Boeing's survival isn't guaranteed, but it's possible. The company's revival depends on leadership that puts safety first and empowers its people. Actions, not words, will determine if Boeing can rebuild trust. The journey back will take years, maybe decades. The world is watching to see if Boeing can learn, adapt, and lead again. The dream of flight endures, but trust, once lost, is the hardest thing to regain. Boeing's next chapter is unwritten. The skies are waiting,